As a business owner, would you like to have more time, more money, and a more valuable business? Yes, you would. But the problem is that if you've been in business for 10 or more years, you probably have some bottlenecks in that business now. And those bottlenecks are causing you to have less time, less money, and a less valuable business. And the bad news is that those bottlenecks are actually caused, usually caused by you, the owner. So how do you fix them, and how do you get back time, money, and make sure that your business is actually valuable? Okay, first thing you've got to focus on is profit. You've got to make sure that your business is truly profitable, and that means not just checking your bank account. You need to read your financials. So every single month, profit and loss, balance sheet, have to read the balance sheet. Why? Because on the balance sheet is your accounts receivable and your accounts payable. So you can look at the P&L all day long and say, okay, I had a good month. Top line is 300 grand for the month, and bottom line, yep, I'm in the black, I'm profitable, and I've got some cash in the bank, so we have some room to go and purchase something for the shop or something for the vehicles. But what you've missed by looking at the P&L is that over on the balance sheet is the accounts receivable number and also the accounts payable number. So those are your assets and liabilities. Your accounts payable, they could be due in 30, 60 or 90 days. And the money in the bank today is going to be going to making some of those payments. So reading those reports is going to be very important. Beyond looking at the P&L and the balance sheet, you do need to be running job costing reports. So this is for service businesses. You're going to want to be running job costing reports. You are going to want to look at your time by job summaries. You're going to want to look at your hours, your overtime reports. That's going to give it to you in your time by job summaries, right? You can run those in QuickBooks or whatever platform you're using, or you can have them run for you. You are going to want to be looking at profitability by job. So have all of these reports run minimum every single month, ideally every 2 weeks, because the longer you leave it to look at the reports, the more you're going to be looking in the rearview mirror. So if you have a job that's a month-long job and you even look at those reports every single week, you can catch stuff and fix it in the middle of that job. If you wait till, let's say, once a month or worse, once a quarter, you're always going to be looking behind, and you're not going to be able to fix things in real time. Then you can go in and see where you can make improvements. I would realize that a job had not been profitable, and then in a next job, I would really track the hours. I would figure out where we lost money. We'd not necessarily lose money on a job, but if the job was not as profitable as it should be, I would dig in. Get the reports from my bookkeeper and dig into them, because you can also get summarized reports, but you can get detailed reports as well. Or have your bookkeeper do it, or have your office manager do it, but tell them what you're looking for so they can go find it for you, because those numbers tell a story. You're not just looking at a flat, static piece of paper when you get that printout. These numbers actually tell you a story, and if you dig in, you will find areas where you are losing profit on your job. So for me, I found that overtime was just rampant. The beginning of the week started out slow, and then by the end of the week, the guys were, busting their butts on the projects. But then we ran into overtime because we started out slow at the beginning of the week. Okay, so profitability, that's how you're going to fix that. You're going to start reading your reports on a regular basis. The next thing you can do there is then start to look at your expenses. With AI, there is no reason right now for offices not to be running really lean. We'll go into that in another video, but start thinking about efficiency in the office, and AI is going to be a big part of that. The next thing, okay, so that's your profit. This is your step one to unbottlenecking, because it's your business and your profit is everything. That gives you more money. The next thing you're going to need to do to unbottleneck is probably your biggest bottleneck, which is going to be your hiring, right? Maybe you have to fix the hiring first, but you are going to want to systemize your hiring. This is the number one complaint from all service business owners. However, I'm not saying it's 100% fixable, because things are different now. Things are shifting. We have baby boomers retiring. But if you put a hiring system in place, as opposed to just posting jobs on Indeed when you need to fill an opening, or just having those jobs on your website where you're not really proactively looking for your ideal people, you're just, hey, here it is, fill out an application. you're not going to be able to fix the hiring process without a system. So I do have a system for that. And if you would like information on it, you can send me a message. But at the very least, always be hiring, always be refreshing your ads, be getting back to people quickly, have ads in multiple places, and hire when you don't need it. Just make sure that you have a nice, robust pipeline of candidates. And when somebody isn't a fit, just get back to them and say that they're not a fit for this position. But if something else comes available that they see, they can apply, because you never know. You may have apprentice level people apply for, a skilled position, and then you have an apprentice position come available. So if you have that pool of people and you keep them, maybe you put them into some sort of email list where you can send them updates, send them a newsletter, keep them up to date on what's happening with the company. So each of these pieces of the three things that I'm telling you about, we can go into more detail on, but I just wanted to kind of get your thought process going on it, that you don't have to do what you've always done, but you do have to fix the hiring problem in order to unbottleneck your business. Okay, so that gives you more time, because if you've got the right people in the right roles, you as the owner will have more time. And that means across the board. Don't just keep people in roles because that's how you've always done it. Make sure that you're giving ongoing training with your people, because that's your hiring, but then once they're hired, what do they do? Ongoing training. We talked about AI. Start looking at some AI to get things automated and more efficient, and that will give you more time. Okay, next thing is going to be, we are sort of touching on all of this with these other subjects, is reducing owner dependency. And that, my friends, will make your business more valuable. So one of the biggest things that can devalue a business is having it be dependent on the owner. So those are my tips for unbottlenecking your business, but getting the business less dependent on you as the owner is going to make it more valuable. And systemizing your hiring, looking at your profitability, making sure that you have the right people in the right jobs, making sure you have all your positions filled, having AI, having systems, all of that is going to unbottleneck the business. So I hope this is helpful. And if you'd like any help with this, you send me a message and I'll be happy to help you where I can.